All right, so let's go down the line here and say who you are, what you did for Walking in Circles, and we'll go from there.
My name is Adam Rady, and I played Marcus that you saw. I was the director. I was a co-creator, producer, editor, all sorts of other stuff.
My name is Jim, and I wrote it, and I guess that means I also kind of created it with this guy, and I was a producer.
I'm Eric Raddick, and I'm Craig.
I'm Katie Wilson. I play Angie.
Wait, so you said Andy, right?
Adam.
Adam. Okay, I was paying attention. Okay, I thought this was pretty funny, I gotta say, and I feel like it was a different spin on this genre. Which, you know, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think the web is all about super serving your niche, you know, and things obviously that are really hot on the web wouldn't necessarily translate to television. You know, gamer stuff, sci-fi stuff, mommy blogger stuff, you know, zombies, vampires. I mean, some of that stuff just translates to television. But this sort of gamer, this had sort of that gamer bent that I think, you know, we haven't, a spin on this that we haven't seen yet, and I really like that. This reminded me a little bit of another web series out there. Well, there was ElfQuest, obviously, with the Fan Imagining, which was done last year here in LA. And then there was another web series out there that came around recently. What was it called? The something Quest? Something, Journey Quest? You know what I'm talking about? A Good Night's Quest. You might exactly A Good Night's Quest, which is also sort of a spin on this gamer world. So, so perhaps let's talk about that. Like the gamer. I mean, how much of this was based on like a pre-existing game or some like Dungeons and Dragons or that world? Did some of that obviously come into play here? Are any of you gamers, or was that had any anything at all?
I'll just take it away from you on that one. Are we gamers? Meaning, do we play Dungeons and Dragons on Sundays? Yeah, we do that. So yeah, that's all from really Jim's mind. Got it started, and I really should probably hand that off to him as to say what inspired him to do it. But it was Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, it was Dungeons and Dragons. No, yeah, I mean, I'd been playing that since I was little, so that's definitely a huge inspiration for me. And of course, then there's, you know, video games, which take heavily from, you know, you got World of Warcraft, which I never played too much of, but I mean, you can definitely say some of what I wrote was inspired by that. But what I really wanted to do is, you were talking about like a different spin on that, and what I really wanted to do is take that geek humor and kind of make it accessible to everybody, you know, because a lot of times you look at a lot of the really focused like gamer web series, and unless you're really deep into those worlds, you're not going to get a lot of the jokes. But I really wanted to take it and kind of show everybody that this stuff is funny. It doesn't matter if you think that Dungeons and Dragons is really nerdy or whatever. It's still pretty cool and it's funny. So that's what I was trying to do with it. I hope I did it. I don't know.
I think you were quite successful. It also had a little bit, for me, a little bit of a guild. You know, a little bit of the guild, like this troupe, like these sort of misfits on a journey. And we obviously know that the guild has been very successful on the web. Were you channeling subconsciously Felicia Day for some of this, or no?
I was.
Craig was channeling Felicia Day. I mean, I think it's a fair assumption to say that the #1 web series in the world is the Guild, so why would we not try to at least emulate it in some way? And of course, being that our genre falls in the fantasy medieval genre, we're probably going to get, you know, compared to that in certain ways. So yeah, definitely we tried to take whatever we could to make things work. And I know Jim's big inspiration was taking something like Lord of the Rings and combining it with The Office, so you kind of have that segue from, you know, the action and the adventure that's happening, because all that is real to them, but then taking it to the interview room where they're sort of getting their inner dialogue as to what's going on.
Excellent. Yeah, I was getting, and it's funny that you would say that with all those nice jump cuts to them, you know, at the bar, you know, afterwards, wherever, and I mean, that was very Office-esque, and I think it was really, it was sort of unexpected, and yet I think very successful. So how many episodes have you shot so far? What is the average length per episode, and where can you catch the show?
There are 11 episodes to season 1, and you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Blip. You can watch it on our website, walkingincirclestheseries.com. You can watch it on, what did we just put it up on today? Spidvid. You can watch it on Spidvid. You can watch it all sorts of places. The episodes run about 10 minutes in length. Some are shorter, some are longer, obviously. And yeah, I think that answers your question. And the audio really does match up on all of them, actually. If you watch them on those sites, you'll be surprised. My mouth will move with the words that happen.
All right. And and all of them are online right now.
That is correct. Yeah, so sorry. Didn't want to hold your hand.
That's okay.
Maybe I did. Yeah, all of the episodes are online now, and we do have plans for a second season, and we actually have an Indiegogo campaign up right now, requesting funds from our fans, basically. Fan donations, fan support, to try to make a second season, 10 episodes that we're doing, and we're in pre-production on now.
Wait, so I noticed, I actually love the beauty of the location. Where, can you talk about where you shot?
We were totally allowed to shoot at up north on the 5, Lake Castaic, actually, is where a great deal of that was. Even further north than that was actually the old abandoned highway that's up there. That's like, don't go here, people. Like, you shouldn't go there. And we went there and we filmed because like people fish there.
I thought that looked like Lake Castaic. I was like, because as I mentioned, I'm from Sacramento and I take the 5 many a time, so up and back, and I always pass by it. And I was like, looks like that lake off of Highway 5 that I pass on my way when I get close to LA.
It is beautiful. There are no restrooms. So Eric and Katie were wonderful that they came on board and decided that that wasn't a problem for them, and that hiking up and down the mountain every day.
So Eric and Katie, why don't you jump in here really quick and say perhaps your funniest moment from the set? Behind the scenes.
Funniest moment.
There's too many.
Yeah, I would. Well, probably the funniest moment for me was, okay, Jim never really gets angry. And there was this one time on set where our actor, Jonah, who plays Garand, his car got towed that morning and had the loot in the car. So basically, he came to set and forgot the most important prop that his character has. His loot got towed in the car. And it was really funny to see everyone's reactions, I think.
Well, our location was flooded that day, too.
Yes, it just was the icing on top of the cake.
Yeah, overall, we went through hell filming this. I mean, hell and high water. And seriously, it was. No, I'm just saying, but it brought us all together.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had, and I had so much fun. And
we have an awesome blooper reel on
we do. And for only $25, a guy in a faux fur loincloth will come to your door and thank you for donating to help us with season 2. So if you want a guy in a faux fur miniskirt, come in, with a big hammer. Help us out.
For a moment about your belt there. What's going on?
Oh. Yeah, this is an original Nintendo controller that is now a belt buckle of mine. So I'm a big Nintendo fan.
So,
Yeah, big.
so Jim and Adam are not the only gamers on this panel.
No.
And we've even got Katie involved. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
But I've only played Dungeons and Dragons once with these guys, so I'm kind of new at that, and I died. I died right away. So.
Excellent. We have time for one question? No. All right. Thank you guys so much. Walking in circles.